Okay, so in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to create switch statements, and switch statements are basically an easier and more effective way in some situations to create if statements, because they really like shorten it up a bit, and they're very simple to do. And I'm going to be using the same program that I did for the if statements, so have the user enter two numbers, then have them select an option from the menu created, and then do the calculations for whichever um, option they select, and then print the results. So as you can see, I've imported terminal IO right here, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is create keyboard reader, the keyboard reader object, and then name it read equals to new keyboard reader, and that creates a new object. So keyboard reader is just a class. As I've said before, it's basically sort of like in another file that you're using in this program, and that file is included in this project because it's in the terminal IO package, and I just imported that by declaring it up here. And I'll show you how to do that with your own files later on in some other video, but for now I'll just leave it at that. So what I'm going to do is create, or actually I'm going to open up my if statements file, since a lot of the information that we're going to be, or a lot of the code that we're going to be using is pretty similar. So like, see, I create a keyboard reader, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy all of this, the menu. So what I'm just copying is the three variables that I'm going to create. So for choice, the first and second number, and then have the user enter the two numbers, and then print out thank you. And then I'm going to display a menu, and the user can choose from that. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this because it is the same code, so I don't want to have to type it again. So it's right there, very simple. And then here is the format for a switch statement. So it's just called switch parentheses, and then and then brackets, and then just in the, I'm just going to shorten this up, make it look cleaner, and just in the parentheses here, all you're going to write is your condition. So or not even your condition, just your variable. So whatever the value of the variable is appears right in this parentheses right here. So my variable in this case is choice, because I'm going to have the user choose, right? And they're going to enter a number, and it's going to appear right here. So say if choice is 1, then it'll be 1. Like, it won't show us, but it will be 1. The value will be 1 there. And all I'm going to put here is case. So basically what happens in a situation. So case basically means situation. So situation 1. So if the integer is 1, it's just going to be, and then you put a colon, and you just type whatever you need. So for situation 1, which was if choice equals to 1, the product would, it would multiply it. So all you do is just copy and then paste, and you have it right there. So it's just right there, right? So basically your entire your entire outcome of choice equaling 1 is right here. So all you have to do now is just go down here, so press enter, and then what you're going to write here is break. What break does is that, so say if we didn't have break, right? What it would do is that if we had another case after case 1, after printing this out, it would go to case 2 or case 3, whatever it was, and print out the results for that anyway. So what you want to do is just put a break here to say that the code is over after that. And then we're just going to go down here and put our second case. So for it, so if choice equals to 2, we're adding the numbers. So all we're going to do is just copy, and then we're just going to paste right there. So right there. And then another break, because we're going to have a 5. So, sorry, 3 right there. And then if we go way up here and to the other file, we see that it's quotient for choice 3. Choice equals to 3. So we're just going to copy this, copy, and then paste. And then we're going to come down here and just write break, case 4, and then case 4 was the difference of the two numbers. So copy. And this is very basic. You can do a lot with this. Like I've created, for example, I've created, like, say you want stuff to equal to like different sizes if a user chooses or clicks on something. So I've created like graphics and animations based on this using switch statements. It's very simple. So I'm just putting the exit one right now. So exit the application was 5. So putting the exit statement, and just come down here, break, goodbye. And then what you're going to want to do here is that if none of these numbers are entered, we're just going to print out this. So the default, the, wow, I cannot spell. And the default is basically what happens if none of the numbers, like if it's not 1 to 5, if it's neither of those numbers, what happens then? And that's why you have the default. So all we're going to put here is system.out.println, and I'm just going to put invalid number, and just going to go here and no, or no option, no such option. So just telling the user that they've entered an invalid number because there isn't any other option besides 1 through 5. And then that's basically it for a switch statement. And we zoom out here and we want to build this, so I'm just going to go up here and just build file. In this case we could have done build project because this is the first file in the project, so if we do build project, come down here, it works. And since it worked, now we're just going to click run project. Please enter a number. So I'm just going to do the same numbers that I did in the last video, so 6 and then 8, and then multiply the two numbers, so 1, and the product is 48. So it works. So what would happen if I entered a number that's not 1 through 5? 6 and then 8, 6. Invalid number, no such option. So it displays it perfectly fine and it works. And it's very simple actually. I like to use switch statements more than I do if statements. If statements are helpful in some cases, but switch statements are more effective and efficient in the stuff that I usually program. So that's it on switch statements. If you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments below. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys.